Recording. Hello, everyone. I have this on record just in case someone would like to watch this on the replay. Super stoked to be here for the 5th episode of the Healy exhibition, where I am showing up to explore the Blue Analyse app. I guess that some people call it the Blue Dot app. There's actually 2 different ones. There's 1 and there's 2, and both of them have purpose, and both of them are going to be around. They're not going to be getting rid of the one anytime soon. That's always going to be free. I've heard at some point in the future they may have a cost for people to have clients in the 2 app, versus it'll always be free when you're doing things by yourself. Oh, so good to see you. We've got Kristen here and Kate, and we might have other people popping in. Kimberly might show up, which Kimberly, Kate, and I have come together in this, Healy business community type of way, which really just is the nature of what we do with Healy. But the 3 of us have come together and decided to collaborate our resources. Something I think that's really unique in what we're doing. And I might as well share it here because it's the reason why Kate's here sharing her beautiful blessing as well. Is that the things that I offer to my community, I'm also offering to her community as well. And then Kate's beautiful offerings, she's also sharing with me, and same thing with Kimberly. And it's like we all get to benefit from each other's unique genius. And the more that we stay in that unique genius, and then we can share with everybody, it's just like the abundance. We all get to benefit together. It's all just exponentially, radically beautiful. And so, yeah, we're here talking about Healy and the Blue Dot app and frequencies, vibration. We're talking about ways we can play in working with Healy. I'm going to be sharing my screen. We do have sound. And so I'm popping on that because I'm going to be talking with you guys, and also I'm going to be sharing a video with you guys, which it just beautifully demonstrates one of the ways that when we work together as a collective, even though I have my own business, we share resources together and create leverage in our business to where we don't have to trade time for money, and we get to do the things that are in our zone of genius, and everybody can stick to theirs and we can share together. So there's going to be a point later where I'm going to share a video as I'm saying, to where Arahia is going to explain what Healy is. So we'll definitely get to that. If you're watching this, you've never really heard of Healy before, you're like, what the heck is this thing? And if people that are here, if you've got questions directly, please unmute yourself and ask me. My human design aura type is a generator, and so I love to respond to what is going on. I get really passionate when I get to respond to things that are heart hits, right? Or gut hits, if you want to call them that. So yeah, here we are, November. I think I did spell November incorrect. That's amazing. 8th. And yeah, we'll be talking about the different analyses. We'll do a little introduction of the people that are talking today, namely Kate and I. And then we'll talk about what it is that we will be sharing and exploring in this Analyse app. After that, people get to receive, right? And then we'll talk about why we're showing up, the things that are instrumental and foundational to our business, more space for questions. And then we'll get to the future now. We'll bridge to that next time where we meet again. So a little bit about me, Andromeda of Earth, also known as Andrea Abrahamson. It depends on how long you've known me, maybe, or in what capacity. I am primarily an artist and a business owner. I consider myself a storyteller. And on the bottom of this little list, you can get right to Rockets and Robots, storyteller, telling stories of how the world will be. And one thing that's really cool about Rockets and Robots is that it's a game that we are playing. We're playing a game and role playing, and it's essentially practice for all of us to be the versions of ourselves that we want to be. And storytelling gets to be a bridge to the future. Storytelling is frequency, it's vibration. And so that's why I'm here, is to support Rockets and Robots, to learn about business, to do and be in this exchange of numbers and play. And there's just like so many beautiful things to learn about business. I've not explored that formally, learning about business. I was educated as an occupational therapist, graduated college in 2006, and I worked for 8 years in various facilities, hospital and nursing homes and home health and whatnot. And then in 2013, I was like, I made my first official exit out of the traditional healthcare system to be an artist full time. And here I am, continuing on that journey, because when I became an artist, I also became a business owner. It's interesting. It just kind of went hand in hand. And these were things that people didn't necessarily tell me that I could do, things that I had to discover for myself. And these are things that I think that everybody can also be and become and discover for themselves as their artist and their own business and contribution to the world. I wanted to give Miss Kate a little opportunity to say hi and introduce herself. She is also a Healy independent world member. And that is like me saying that I have my own Healy business. I'm an independent Healy world member, and so is Kate. So yeah, Kate, do you want to say hi?
Absolutely. Thank you. I love it. You're so sweet. You made me this cute little slide. I actually was thinking earlier when you texted me too, because you're always so good at like, I am an artist and business owner. And I'm always like, I am a magical wisp. Like, I'm always like, what are like, if I had to, categorize and it really dropped in but you nailed it, right? Because I would have said I am a magic weaving heartist, independent Healy world member. And yes, absolutely, ascension, wellness advocate, awaken. That's the I think what we all are and what we're seeing so much more now is we are wildfire actually catching, right? Like we are these heart sparks igniting each other. And I love that you wrote that, ascension weaver, awakener, and the empress and all, because um I've realized that that's really my joy, is like, no, you're magic and you're made of stardust. We got this. So yes, um I was thinking a little bit about my story, and I don't know if anyone else ever experiences this, where you're like, oh, I've lived it so many times, like I've said it so many times, blah, stories, whatever. And I tried to really distill what is actually my story. And what is actually my story is that I don't like to be told no. And so from a series of um, health issues, ailments caused by modern Western medicine, and being told that, I'd be kind of like a cripple the rest of my life in my mid 20s, um, I said, fuck that. Yeah. Uh, and cold turkeyed every medication I was on that was busting up every organ in my body, and just trial and errored myself to independence and personal autonomy. And what it has really taught me, and what is my passion to share with people, is like, please let me save you the 15 years that I've had to live through, and just get you right to the good stuff. And so, people talk about health, they talk about body, mind, wellness. Sometimes you hear spirit in there, but it's mental wellness, physical wellness, energetic wellness, and they all play upon each other. So how can we weave weave a cohesive way of being that satiates your spirit, answers that original blueprint that you came here to be, and uh let those different, I don't know that they're even so much pillars as much as they're almost like pillars that hold up an eternal spiral, because I find that as soon as I think one's complete, I'm back at another, having another existential crisis. um yeah, and so Healy just is a quantum rocket fuel to as high up in the spiral as I think we can reach in this dimension. And it fits seamlessly in all things magical, nerdy, starseed. I know you've run it for rockets and robots, which is freaking awesome, as well as wellness and things like that. But yeah,
That's one of the reasons why you and I connected, was
yeah,
because your sponsor introduced us, because you are also creating a game. You're creating multiple games,
yes.
actually. And so, there was something for us to learn from together. And that's one of the reasons why I love that you and I are working together, is because we're doing it purely because we want to, and not because we're financially going to benefit from each other. Same thing with Kimberly. We're in completely different lineages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can, of course, create those relationships with people that we will benefit from, yada, yada, yada. But like, we're all, at the base, at the core of this little mini community that we've created, is just simply wanting to do this together to see each other rise.
Yeah.
I believe in you. Like, you have so much to share. You have so much knowledge that you're going to bless all of us in this community with. So let's keep going as we'll keep talking more and more. I want to share a little bit about Healy. It was established as a different company from the original company of Time Waver in 2019. It was created, the device was created by Marcus, Shmika, and Nuno Nina. They partnered up with a gentleman called Christian Halper. Actually, Marcus met the money behind Healy at an astrology conference. Mr. Christian Halper, that's where they met. And I was actually just watching a video of the two of them on the vision of Healy, and why it is so essential and in alignment for not to just sell this device online. Like, they could have sold this device on Amazon, and they'd probably sell a gazillion more, but they wanted people to first have their Healy moment, have their experience with Healy, and then also have someone connecting them to the device, like sharing with them how to use it, because it's more than just a device. It's a paradigm shifting moment. And so hearing them talking about the importance of the mycelial network of this MLM structure, like I like to think of it as a modern or a matriarchal lineaged model of business. You're really being nurtured through the process, especially if you pick the right person to purchase your Healy device through. And so one of the things that I loved about learning about this device is that Nina and Marcus worked for 2 years before even thinking about money and business. Just how do we make a device that generates frequencies and delivers frequencies to people? The devices before are huge and majorly expensive. I think I've heard Time Waver is like $60,000, $20,000 to $60,000. No, we can't afford that. And they really wanted to make a portable, wearable device that everybody could have inside every home. And so this basis of altruism and like the quantum science, understanding that, that's the basis, the link of science and spirituality together, allowing us to be more whole being. That's the basis and the vision of this community, not specifically money. Although, one of the things that they love about this device is the way that they use this model to give opportunity to everybody. Not business and opportunity for business shouldn't just be for the people with money. And so that's why there's all different ranges of like, you can enter into a Healy business without ever purchasing a device. But of course, we would prefer that you have had your Healy moment and you've experienced Healy. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here showing up, is allowing people to have their Healy moment and experience if they would like to. It's available in here. I would love to connect you with my Healy, with Sweet Rose. She and I have been around hanging out since January, and she's pretty cool. So definitely excited to share her with you in this way. And because we're working with the quantum, we don't have to be here connected with it. As long as my intention and your intention are connected and we're focused on what's going on and what's happening, Healy is the conduit. We are the power, actually. So this is Arahia, as I talked about before. And she is going to talk a little bit about Healy and what Healy is specifically.
Here we introduce the Healy. This is an incredible little device, which you probably see us all wearing. Fits in the palm of your hand. And what it is doing is that it is scanning and analyzing the physical, the emotional, and the mental. It is communicating directly with that space, directly with your DNA, directly speaking directly in the language of frequency, picking up exactly where your field is out of resonance, and then it is delivering exactly the energy, the frequency, the vibration that is required by you in any given moment. Literally, it's doing it every 10 seconds when you're running a program, and it is giving you that energy back into your bioenergetic field so that your body, so that your beautiful, amazing, intelligent cells can bring themselves back into balance. And the beautiful, which is amazing, just take a moment to pause how incredible that is. I know that blew my mind the first time. Although I knew it was possible, I had been dreaming of this since like 2014, a device like this. And so when I saw that this did this, it really resonated with me, and it really made sense, because I was like, of course we can do that. And, essentially I see us as our own Healys, and I don't see Healy as replacing our innate intelligence. It's an enhancer and an amplifier and an optimizer of our own intelligence, and a way for us to bring ourselves back into connection with ourselves. Just so you know what Healy looks like, this is what Healy looks like, and this is what it looks like on your screen. Within every single Healy, there is 144 gold frequencies. Healy has patented over 10 million frequencies. There is literally a frequency for everything. And this morning I was running a thyroid frequency. Last night I was running the Fountain of Youth frequency. The thing that makes Healy really different and unique to any other device or frequency on the market, not that there are many, is that it has this incredible piece of technology called the quantum sensor. This is literally what is like having, could you imagine having a friend in your, like, that was with you all the time, that always saw you in your absolute highest expression? Like, this is your blueprint, this is who you came here to be, this is your purpose, this is your highest health blueprint, this is your highest emotional blueprint, this is your highest mental blueprint. That is the capacity that Healy has. Through the information field, it is gathering that information, and it will show you, and it will choose programs and give you information based around where the energy is stuck in your information field, in your own information field, and it will enable you to move that energy through. There really is a frequency for everything, like hair, skin, learning, concentration, focus. For me, in the beginning, a lot of it was around stress and anxiety and sleep and adrenals. And that was like pretty consistent for a month or two. And now it's kind of moved into like a whole spectrum of play, really, with my body and my capacity. So Healy works on all aspects of the human body. It speaks with the language of frequency, which is a language that communicates through all barriers, through the barrier of, like, how does our physical actually communicate with our mental? The mental is a different language to the emotional. And so, when you feel like you have split energy, like, oh, I really like my heart and my head, they're not together. That is when you're not in coherence. And the purpose of Healy is to create coherence, so that all of these parts of who you are that make you up, that speak different languages, different energy, different frequency, are communicating. And it is frequency that is the language that does that. And when you have coherence, that is when you're in high performance. That is when you're making powerful decisions. That is when you're deeply connected to your heart, to your purpose. That is when you can, like, see your emotions arising, and instead of reacting, you can, like, pull them back and be like, well, okay, yeah, cool, I can see that. It's like coherence is that space where you can actually have the space to
yes. The space, having the space. Hey, Kimberly. Good to see you. Yes. So working with the Analyse 1 and 2 app, we talk about the quantum informational field. This is what we are working with. Put simply, the information field is the link between mind and matter. Everything we do, think, and feel, all our mental matters and topics, are stored in this information field. And so this is the space where all resides. And so when we have a frequency given to us in the all space, it's like we receive the reflection of the mirror. And the mirror reflection image, that's the frequency we receive in the quantum field, and it's just perfect. It's divine. It's exactly who we are at our core. And what we get to do is then look at that reflection, look, right, through the sound, the vibration, right? We get to, air quotes, look and reflect and see and be like, oh yes, that is us. And then we get to be it. We get to, like she was saying, ourselves get to do the work, get to do the healing. We are the one doing the healing, and this is just supporting us in a really beautiful way. And so there are 3 different ways to interact with our bioenergetic field. There's the aura analysis, and that works with our chakras. It is not an easy analysis to read all the time, to be honest. Like, that's not a scan that that always feels good. It can really get to deep stuff, which is really beautiful, but also nice to know when you're in it. The coach module is a way that shows us the blockages that are hindering where it is we want to go. It is a literal coach being like, hey, this is not you. This wasn't you either. You can let that go. And I love using this for reality creation. I use it as an integration tool after my timeline jumping meditations. I'll send an analysis to everybody and, put everybody in a group together, and anybody that does the meditation will have access to an analysis and the frequencies in the quantum field, even retroactively, because there's no time, there's no space, the things that we do today can affect our past just as much as it affects our future. This is just physics facts. And so, yeah, I love working with the coaching app. And then there's the resonance, which is one of the more gentle areas of working with people. And it, like says here, harmonizes our bioenergetic fields to be like our original blueprint design, versus the coach is bringing us somewhere specific, in alignment with our vortex that we're exuding. So they're all just like so beautiful. Here's a little explanation in words of what these are. Like here it says the coach is for personal and professional development. These are all the different areas that it can give us frequencies about. And then in the resonance here, there are not only Healy programs, or also Mag Healy programs, which is this device here, but it also has programs that include crystals, and include Schussler, cell salts, also the I Ching. I love asking the I Ching a question and seeing what symbols come out, and then making my own story, my own interpretation of what the I Ching and what the quantum fields is wanting to show me about this intention or this thing that I'm asking it. And so there's the courage, the Bach flowers. They are amazing to be able to give yourself homeopathy without ever having to buy another sugar pill ever again. Is just brilliant. I can give my husband flower essences when he is away from the home and benefit his body. And that is just so epic. If anybody's into herbalism and homeopathy, like that is just, yeah, that's gold. So I'm curious if anybody here would like to receive frequencies here in the now, want to have an aura scan or a coach scan, and we don't have to do it like publicly. Like I can just send you the analysis, and we don't have to like go through it, or if you're okay with us going through a couple of them, it's really up to you. I'm also happy to do myself if nobody else wants to go, but feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself and say, yeah, I would love to receive frequency.
I always want them.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say, because I love that in the video, she says like a friend that always sees you at your highest potential. And you touched on this with the aura scans and the chakras. I love how, because it is, you know, like fourth dimension, it's where thoughts drop in from. It's literally the dimension that thoughts drop in from. So it actually just like filters through all that BS to the core of who you are meant to be, to amplify that, like she said. And so sometimes when you're reading the scans, it's like the most brutal roast you've ever had in your whole life, but you feel so loved.
Absolutely. 100%.
I think that was my Healy moment, is is I overthink so much sometimes, so to just get roasted and be like, thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's real. I mean, it sees you, and it's like you're good still, like, you know, like, I don't know, it's just okay, darling. You are in here because you and I've worked together before. So I went into the app, and then I went to clients, and there's Miss Kate. What would you like to receive?
I'm still a sucker for all the resonance ones because I haven't actually done all of them.
Yeah. And it's so great. Like, we can ask Healy, like, also, like with the Healy programs, like, what Healy program am I most resonant for? And then I can load that into my Healy, and then put the cords up and charge the cells in my physical body with those frequencies, because like those Healys picked out, that's the program that's the best for me. So we normally do this kind of resonance, but I wanted to put that in there about that other way of working with resonance, that it can help you know which programs are most ideal for your being. And I've even heard Marcus say, don't focus so much on the words and the names of the programs. You know, what can work on my bones can work on your circulatory system. And so, like, we're all just different, you know? And so sometimes it's nice to know. And what's great, I'll also even ask my body intuitively, like, what do I want? What do I need? And then I'll hit resonance. And oftentimes it's up there, and it's there, and it's showing up. And it's kind of a nice, like, intuitive, like, body check-in as well. I've also heard Marcus say that he, you know, is looking forward to and working towards a world where we don't even need Healy. And that is the kind of healthcare, this is in air quotes, quote, healthcare worker, end quote, that I want to be working with and for. You know, there's a reason why I quit the traditional healthcare system, is that I didn't want to work with patients. I didn't want to be with people that were just accepting, you know, the healing from other people and just had things done to them. As an occupational therapist, I saw the power of putting the healing back in their words. I didn't call my people patients. They were my clients, right? And then when I became an artist, they weren't my clients anymore. They are my collaborators. We are making art together. And that's even what we're doing here today, is that everything is art, you know, like you and I and all of us here, we're all interconnected, you know, and so we're all bouncing off of each other and creating this beautiful life together. So
it's such a gorgeous thread that you just wove too, because I was thinking as well how, you know, the story of Indra's web. Indra is the deva of thunder. He watches over the heavens on Krishna's behalf, but Indra's web is essentially the esoteric story of quantum entanglement, that, you know, we are all these light beings that are attached by threads. So every time someone is utilizing a Healy, or sitting in prayer or meditation or doing yoga, or just, you know, taking a bath, like giving yourself whatever is amplifying what you need in that moment, you are literally healing the entire universe. And that's, I love
you
that
got
you,
it
yes,
right
that you
there.
yes,
You
yes.
they were saying at the last convention in Florida in Healy, the people, the scientists were saying, you don't need to have this at 100%. It's just kind of like at 40% is enough. And because you have a perfect toroidal field, it not only affects this direct area, but because we're all quantumly entangled, it also affects everyone. So I'm running prosperity right now, and it's a perfect toroidal field in this room of sacred items, and we're all just magnifying, and I get to be a beacon. And the more mag Healys we have in the world, the more Healys we have in the world, the more harmonization and the more beacons we have. So this is what we're doing.
Well, if you want, I'm totally down to give it a try. If you want to ask the Healy, just say.
Oh yeah, you want to see like what programs you want, or what do you want?
Do you want me to tell you, or I figured if you were saying you can just ask the Healy.
Yeah, yes. Okay. So in the sense of we're asking Healy which Healy programs are most ideal for you. Okay. Or which mag Healy programs are most ideal for you. These are the list of Healy, like the kinds of Healy programs.
Yes.
And so what you do is what a lot I do is I do a general all. And then we will connect, and then it will give us different modules or different types of groups. And then you can go in there further and see which programs within those groups are you most resonant for. But what's also cool is that Healy is giving us, sorry, I'm gonna real quick just be with what's going on here. We're asking Healy what's most resonant for Kate. I want to honor that because I can get to my point in a second. Watch meridian programs, bioenergetic defense, meridian 1, meridian 2, and deep cycle. And so we can vibrate these to you. Here, I'm going to do it for 38 seconds. I heard in one of our community calls that it is like giving our bioenergetic field kind of conversation that you would say to a toddler or a young child versus having a conversation with another adult or whatnot. The way that you are correcting a toddler or a baby or a loved one or something, or versus you're correcting an adult, you speak to them in a little different. And so the 38 seconds is a bit more gentle of a vibration, versus if you do like a 6 minutes, it's a harsher type of energetic exchange. So because we've heard the Watch Meridian programs, which by the way, I love my Healy watch. I love it so much. I interface with it every day. It's allowed me so much insight into myself that I didn't realize. If you're ever curious about the Healy watch, definitely message me. I would love to talk about it. So I went into the Watch Meridians program, and I'm going to do the analysis for which Watch Meridian is most ideal for you. Okay. Triple heater. I don't know much about traditional Chinese medicine, but I definitely will vibrate these to you, darling, if you're okay with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second and come back on because I actually have to show you something. It's funny.
Yeah, of course. What's also cool about this app here is that I can use it to open this triple heater program on my Healy so that I could either put the cords in, do it directly to my body, or I could put the coil onto the Healy, and then it changes the frequencies to magnetic scalar waves, because electricity can either be a particle, which is with the cords, or it can be a wave. And so using this Tesla coil, it turns the frequencies into a way to interface with our consciousness and our DNA in a really beautiful way. So amazing. Yeah.
Healy's spot onness, right, is I had recently pulled off my bookshelf a reference for some trigger point therapy, because my triple warmer, it's circuitry that goes through your heart and down your arm, and I have a lot of blocked points right now. Like I feel it, my arm and my shoulder have been stiff, and I got like a big knot in my neck that I've have been working through. Yeah, and then I'm always working through liver stuff with all the medications I used to be on, and environmental detoxes and things like that, because that all stores in your liver, and liver is a lot of heat and can be a lot of heat and anger and things like that. It's why I get these 11s. So you can your organs actually map on your face and stuff like that. So I just love it's validation, but just when you see everything supporting each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that you have the support of the frequencies to your being, you can also now be a more whole being, because you're working on it in the physical and you're working on it in the quantum. It's like having the right half of your brain connected to your left half of your brain. This is what Christian Halper and Marcus Schmika were just talking about in this video that I was listening to. I'd love to share it with you guys, because it really allows you to understand, wow, these are beautifully epic people that have at their core very altruistic reasons for doing what they're doing. And we can tell. you can if you're sensitive enough, you can see it and you can feel it in their words and how they say and talk and present themselves. And it definitely helps to believe. It helps me to show up and talk about it and go and do the things that might make me a little bit more nervous, but it's like I'm doing it because there's just I can't even say all the reasons. It's just
it
endless.
Brings life to living. It's like I was tired before we got on this call, and now I'm so energized because I feel so enthusiastic, because you're like, yes, we are lifting this world, because you do these and you show up and you're like, this is an amazing gift to experience, or just to be in community together. And I'm like, Andromeda is totally right. I'm here for it.
You're so right too, in the way that it brings life. And that's another thing they talked about in the video, is that the bridging of technology and life is life-giving, and it's allowing us to tap back into life. There's a symbiosis there that they are utilizing. We can have a reality to where technology benefits us, and that's the reality that we're choosing. Anybody else want to receive?
I do.
Yeah. Hi, Kimberly. Hi. I don't think I have you inside my Healy, do I? Yeah.
Is it okay? Can you?
Yes, of course. So now everybody gets to see what it's like. So I'm going to go to Kimberly's page, and I'm going to snap a picture of her. Look at that beautiful face right there. So this is how I enter people into the Healy. I'll either ask them for a photo or I'll just go to their Instagram, Facebook, and snag one. Was that picture okay? I didn't even ask.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay.
Great.
So into clients, and then I'm going to hit the plus blue button. These are all the different kinds of quote clients we can have. They can be animals, plants, a vehicle, a building, an organization, a group of people. I mentioned I do my meditation group all together, or other things. I've had my business as a client or my bank account as a client in here, which I need to harmonize those up.
Say could do your money, you totally could.
Mm-hmm.
Like what sort of, how it's like being energetically charged. That's
Absolutely.
really interesting.
Absolutely. So I'm putting your name in here, and in the information box, it says that your information is going to be stored in the Heal Advisor cloud. Is that okay, Kimberly?
Yes.
Okay. So if you had anybody who was a little like nervous about it, didn't want their information stored in the cloud, it's totally okay. You can go to the Analyse One app, and at this point, you will actually be triggered to answer the question and gain consent, and you can answer no. And so what that basically means is that their information will be stored just on that one device only. I'm like currently using a spare phone for this little demonstration, and so because Kimberly is okay with it being in the cloud, I can also then, when she wants to receive this frequency, or Kate wants to receive this frequency, in this next week, they can ask me, and I encourage that, guys, ask me in this next week to send you these frequencies if you want them again, because it just reinforces the reflection into your being. Going to the gym one time does not make you a fit person. It's a dance. Yeah, a delicate dance. Just wanted to share that.
Yeah, the when you say that, for some reason the word that comes up for me strongly is impression. It kind of like, yeah, repeating repetitive use of the Healy, it sort of like creates this impression in your nervous system. Yeah, I don't know why, it just that came out.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely. I love that. We can feel it, the
Yeah.
impression. Okay, so I'm going to put Sweet Rose in my hand, because it says to place Healy in the right hand of the person to be analyzed, and I'm just connecting with you. Sometimes I like to do Reiki symbols
Nice.
to connect us. That's why I do like to either get on like a video chat or a call quickly when I set people up, because I want to talk about these things. I'm really big into consent. And so you and I are connected, Kimberly, and I'm going to record your vibration so Healy knows who you are. I'm going to connect to the Healy through my phone. You are. So there's other information in here that we can put in. I've heard that it's important to put in date of birth, but I've also heard that it doesn't matter, I honestly feel like Healy knows, my intention is there. I'm happy to put in more information, but it's not required.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm curious to know about I'd love to dig into the resonance and also just see what programs it would.
Yeah. Good for you. You want like the Healy or the Mag Healy or the other database?
Oh, I'm curious about that. So how is the other database different?
So this, yeah, these are the I don't know if you could just call them alternative programs, but this is where the homeopathy is, the Bach flowers or the Australian bush flowers. The Alaskan gem elixirs are the crystal frequencies. And so they have recorded the frequency of clear quartz and of smoky quartz and of 48 different crystals, and it will figure out which crystals you are most resonant for. And so I even love the idea of, like, say you make malas for a living. I'm looking at this, brought this mala up that was custom made for me, but you could like add your people as a client and then ask the quantum informational field which frequencies, which crystals they're most resonant for, and then you have a custom, mala that is that is all about frequencies and what's going to bring you into harmony. And then what's really cool, you could make that necklace that you've made for them a client, and then you could program and give the necklace frequencies. So for example, like, I mean, clear quartz, it's a it's a programmer. It's what they use in computers. Yeah, thank you, Kristen. Share with her, because it's just like, this is magic that I mean, even if one person does it, another person could do it too, because like everybody could benefit from working with frequencies and whatever kind of product you have, but definitely working with crystals like the gem elixirs is amazing. The Schussler salts get into the minerals of our body. That one can be a little stingy. To be honest, that and the Bach flowers, right, Kate? That one can sometimes be a little oof.
Yes,
Ow.
the Bach flowers. And it's also the Bach flowers. I can't speak to the other ones, but the Bach flowers uses the language that Bach's flower repertory uses. So it's not necessarily that Healy's coming at you.
Yeah, this is like
using the
this is
language
homeopathy.
Mm-hmm.
Research studied stuff, just like, I mean, the I Ching is like freaking ancient. And Healy doesn't claim to invent any of these frequencies. It's just a tool to harness. It's just, and so Marcus called it an antenna to extend it. It extends us and our nervous system. Honestly, it's a transceiver. It generates and gives, but it also receives frequencies. Pretty epic. That
Got
sounds
it.
good. Anything?
This is juicy. I feel like I could go so deep on this database, but
Yeah.
like hardcore. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like if you're I'm sorry, you're like a writer and you're like on writer's block and what to do with your book, just like have your book in your mind and then do the I Ching, and can tell you what, give you ideas for your book. I don't know. It's just
That's amazing. I'm still kind of, for some reason, well, the crystals really make me curious, but I think I want to try the Healy program resonance.
Yes.
I want to see what's up there.
Got you. It's only scanning 10 million frequencies, so give a second. Actually, no, what it's doing now is reading you. That's what the blue lines are. Bioenergetic vitalization, bioenergetic support, bioenergetic defense. Woof.
Yep.
Mental balance and meridians. So
yeah, that tracks.
We'll just vibrate these to you, if that's okay. Cool. And so one of the things that I find really amazing is that you can have a gold Healy device, actually, and you can also get the resonance added to your device. And when you do that, you have access to all of the frequencies. not just the frequencies that are in the gold. In the sense of you have access to it in the quantum informational field, which I find just exceptionally generous. I feel like they could have made the algorithm program or whatever, give it so that you only have access to the gold programs and whatnot in the quantum, but they were like, no, we want everybody to have access to it. So if you don't have a mag Healy, but you have resonance, you can still receive the amazing frequency specific microcurrent programs that Dr. McMakin has created with Healy, which give 2 frequencies actually at once to resolve I want to say just like physical imbalances. So now we can go into the bioenergetic vitalization, right? That's the one we want. I'm going into the list to double check. Yep. New resonance analysis. There's bioenergetic vitalization. There's 12 different ones. So we're going to figure out which one of those or which 5 of those are the most resonant for you. Nerve harmony, regeneration 2, tissue harmony, regeneration 1, and cell harmony.
Wow.
May I vibrate them to you?
Yes, please.
That's good. Now, another thing that's really cool is that from this app, we can go to the top right to the 3 dots there. I'm going to hit that and I'm going to export and I can send it to my good friend. Oh, well, I actually like doing mail. For some reason, iMessage or some text messages don't work, but you can save it, you can print it, you can just send it right out to people. So when you have clients and whatnot, it's really easy to send this information to them. It's going to connect because I went out. And then it'll vibrate those to you. Just like before, the blue squiggly lines are representation or representative of your energy and your quote like noise, your bioenergetic energy going from you to the Healy. And then the pink or the red there is the frequencies that are going from Healy to you.
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's fun to like see how sometimes they link up sometimes and then they don't, and then
Okay, I think I have a question. So
yeah.
this might be something I just like answer by processing out loud, but so this particular set, for example, this is what I have the highest resonance with.
The most relevance. Yeah, the most, yeah, absolutely. The programs that you have the most resonance with. Yeah.
Versus low resonance or dissonance.
It would mean that the programs on the lower scale aren't as relevant to your harmonization. They would still do good. This would be great. But Healy looks at you at your original design and then like where you are. And so it figures out which programs will get you from there to here.
Got it. So versus like it's finding out like where you have low resonance or dissonance and then addressing those to create balance.
Yeah, that would be more aura.
So gotcha, that makes sense. So yeah, that makes sense. You're creating resonance for harmonization versus balance, like prescriptively almost.
Yeah. It's interesting with the auras. with the aura scan, it can also be very evolutionary too, because they can make the focus like a coaching app, like a coaching statement as well. And so I can also help my aura and my energy centers. And it's not my bioluminescent aura. It's my it's not light, it's sound.
Yeah.
That's my sound aura. Make it like I would like it to be.
Which those sounds also have color correspondences, right?
Yeah.
The other thing I really like with the aura scan is it tells you like what is the most to the least, but it's also gives you kind of a map of here's the ones that you can actually slide back into place the easiest, or like here are the ones that energetically you are the most likely to be pliable with and actually work with, instead of trying to go to something, say you have like, like a block in your solar plexus that you're a stone wall about. It's like, all right, well then let's work with the one in the heart chakra that's a little easier to get to, and the one below that in your sacral that's a little easier to get to.
Absolutely.
Instead of beating your head on a wall.
And they're completely customizable too. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I don't like the wording of something, I can change it.
Yeah.
If I don't want to touch my heart today, my heart's just fine. I don't have to, I can just get rid of those.
I like to, since the chakras have sounds like, vam, ram, hum, and they have vowel sounds. I don't know if you've ever played with receiving the frequencies and moving through the sounds at the same time.
That's
I
cool.
haven't, but we need
feels
to.
really nice.
Yeah, so you're gonna like create something in Sonic Bloom for us to show up to, right, and practice this.
Sure, absolutely. My pleasure.
Oh, yeah, I love that. It's a cool Healy meditation.
Show us the magic, Kate. We want to see it. We want to do it.
Brilliant.
Miss Kristen, would you like to receive today? And it's completely okay if you don't want to, and you're just here to like hang out.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Are we have space and time?
Yes, there's totally time.
Okay.
Oh, I passed you. There you are. Yay. So Kristen and I have gotten together a couple times. We just met this February. Yeah, actually the first time we met, Galentine's Day, February 13th. I actually had the Healy, and we it was obviously a mutual friend put this event on, and I just found it so amazing and remarkable that when I did an aura scan, like my heart was 100%. And I was just like, whoa, I didn't realize my heart could be at 100% being surrounded by all these women that I don't really know. It was really beautiful. So
I remember that.
It's fun.
So cool. So cool how we got connected.
So we've met up a couple times. We don't live anywhere near each other, but we both live in Michigan, and just like hang out for dinner, and we just enjoy each other's company. And I love Kristen's energy. You guys gotta check out her podcast. What is it? The Goddess Talk podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. It's just like she is sharing so much gold for soulpreneurs, for feminine soulpreneurs who are like starting their businesses. Her talk is for us. So guys, definitely check it out. That sounds good, darling.
Yes. Let's all connect after this.
Yes, you guys. I'll make sure everybody can connect. What sounds good today?
I'm feeling resonance just like everyone else here was,
Yeah,
but
that's great.
I wanted to double check with you. So I know that we've done Mag Healy together, right? That's what we will charge our water with. Okay. And then I think we've done database on me too, because I know I've done I Ching. So I don't think I've done the first resonance.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like that might be a good place for
Yeah.
that.
This is the theme. We're all just like, what does the quantum feel like we need? We're just like open. That's great. Scanning your field. Ooh. Fitness.
Yes.
Yeah. Well-being programs, and those are mind, body, spirit programs, I believe. Meridians 2, learning and deep cycle. The deep cycle. I'm looking forward to doing. There's a entire protocol for the deep cycle programs. And I've heard that like the one person who shared about doing this has completely changed her way and her habits of life to where now she's a morning person, which I mean was something that she never thought that she would be into, but she is now. So I'm definitely going to be hitting
I
that
feel
up.
like, can we do the deep cycle even though it's giving me fitness first?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm such a night owl and I'm like wanting to change. I don't need to become a morning person, but I know that my sleep schedule right now is not optimal.
Fair.
Wanting
Yeah.
to shift it, but I just love my evening time, like my unrestricted evening time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Usually
But
when you're reaching out to me, it's like 11 o'clock or midnight or something. I'm just like, that's when she's just like feeling good. Could tell.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I will give you a picture of the protocol so you can just like look at it if you want to like conceptualize. It's like I think a 4-week protocol, but you can also extend it out to be even longer. So what we can do here is I can vibrate all of these programs for you. And then when I go into the secondary analysis, I can go right into the deep cycle if that's okay.
Yep.
Okay. And
Thank you.
yeah. I love that you have not 17, that you are asking for what it is that you want and that you know. Oh gosh, what am I doing? There we go.
Well, it's so funny. As it's been getting darker earlier, I've really been thinking about that. Like, how can I use this darkness to just get to sleep earlier and shift things up with the seasons? And I was just thinking about it today. So, of course, that came through in the scan.
If you're wanting to make a physical change, just supporting it in the quantum, and you can do it, with the frequencies, but also running the cords directly to your body. Then you're getting it in the physical, but then you've got your you got to do the patterns, you got to do the stuff, like doing it all together. It's just a supportive thing. Like nobody needs the Healy, but it certainly has helped a lot of people. Let's see, you're going back into the resonance Healy program. Cycle, do the deep cycle. So we'll ask Healy's figuring out which programs are most relevant to you. Okay. Third application, second application, renewal, kidney harmony, and kidney harmony. So male and female. Kidneys are the place where we hold our living, filter our living waters, our fountain of youth. In the gold programs, Nuno Nina has focused a lot on the liver, or I'm sorry, the kidneys. Is it okay if I vibrate these out to you?
Yes, please do.
Yeah. I can give you information on this deep cycle, what these are. If you're curious about what the third cycle is, or the third application is versus the second application.
Yeah,
me-
I was going to ask you actually if you knew. I know there's so many programs, but I was curious if you have ever seen those pop up.
I have not seen them pop up,
Okay.
but we have access to the information. So even though I don't know all the things, I know how to connect people to the information. And that's one of the great things about this device, is that I don't have to be an expert. I can be a consultant and, point people in the right direction. And, I can also be kind of choosy in who I would work with and who I sell the device to, which is actually kind of a good idea. Because when you are working with someone in this way, it can be an intimate, close relationship. And I really want to pour into the people. Even if you're just buying a device and you don't want anything to do with the business, like that's fine. Like I want to share with you how you can use this to your best endeavor, in your best way. And I know that Kimberly and Kate are also the same way. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. So if ever people are like, oh, it's an MLM, right? Oh, I don't mess with MLMs. And I love how Kimberly has like told us and reminded us that that is normal to feel that ick towards MLM models, because there are a lot of bad ones out there. This is a business that is in alignment with the Aquarian age and community, and it's a different kind of MLM. Like I said, it's a mycelial network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that you use the mycelial analogy. Also that what's his name? Is it Robert Kiyosaki? He's one of the richest men in our country, to be sure. And he like almost aggressively advocates for network marketing because it's empowering to the masses and does not empower the 1%. I also stick with what helped me around that too. It just mentally is like, it's affiliate marketing. And that is a direction that so many things are moving. There's like a lot of grassroots stuff that's becoming affiliate marketing, collectives, homeopathy, the Kangen water systems are affiliate marketing. That was one of my favorite things about Healy, is like you cannot purchase one without putting money in someone else's pocket.
Yeah. And that person gets the money that would have gone to the big broadcasting networks, which, I mean, we all know. I don't even need to like go there. So we can be funded instead of them. They got enough funding and money and attention. And so we're all just like creating the new right now, the new way of doing business. Anybody else want to receive? Are we feeling good? I think we're
Thank you
feeling
for
good.
mine, beautiful.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I'm, like I said, happy to send these to you, and I'm happy to send like anytime. Kristen, you're like, I need a little bit of energy or something, like maybe some crystals in my life. Feel free to ask me. Like, I would love to support you with these frequencies anytime. So
Thank you, love. I appreciate you so much.
yeah. Okay, so I think what I want to do is give myself back host. There we go. And so I can get back to my presentation. So let's share my screen. There we go. Back to the presentation. That was That was it there. So we've talked about all of them. And it's totally cool. We haven't done an aura scan or anything yet. Like, I 100% trust that the frequencies come when they're needed. So yes, some of the reasons that I'm here showing up is because I support, and I'm here to support small business owners to create massively successful endeavors, because that's what's Rockets and Robots is doing. It's going to be massively awesome because we are creating a world that we can be ecstatic to hand up to our children. We're not handing down anything to them. We're creating a world that takes the act of unaliving someone serious. It's not the first thing we do when we're problem solving. And so working with Healy, I'm learning about business through aligned action, through paying attention to the patterns that are happening, and playing with the inner work that has to happen in order to have a successful business. This is like a muscle in order to hold the capacity for abundance, for all the things. The potentials are endless. The things that I love to stand upon when I'm working with my business is the fact that we are all free will beings walking upon this earth. You know, that the things that I hold most sacred are movement and life as art, as well as the fact that everything that happens is holy, everything is sacred. There are omens out there. If we just allow ourselves to open our eyes and see and be present at what's going on, we don't have to search for the answers. The answers are literally in front of us. And so one of the things that I found through this device is that it's just helped me to become more me, eliminating all the other stuff. And so Healy as a community and our lineage, our freedom frequency lineage, is very much in alignment with those other pillars that I've just like, this is like just my life, you know? And so the frequency family is all about wealth creation and connection and frequency, all, I feel like it's all wrapped up in freedom, and all of it together. And so I wanted to share that with you folks so that when you are entering into business with us and in a relationship with us, you understand like what you are stepping into. I don't know if anybody else would like to speak about their pillars and the things that they feel like really passionate about, or like why they're showing up here in the Healy business. No, Kate, you talked a little bit about it earlier, but yeah, Kimberly.
I just wanted to second that point that you made about how using the Healy has sort of like unearthed your truth, your true self. It very much is, you know, a devotional practice with your Healy very much is a practice of yoga to me in this way, that it like unearths your truth. And what I mean by that is like, it really is true that when you start to use it and you start to harmonize at the cellular level, all of the stuff that is not you comes up to the surface to be shed. And so it starts like, I don't know anybody who has a Healy that did not go through this initial period of just like full-on regeneration, you know, of stuff surfacing. And what I mean by that is like memories, stories, narratives, feelings, like it really does like come up, and it's odd almost, but it's like, it's almost like marked, you know, if you really start using your Healy consistently, regardless of the programs you're running, like it really does bring the subtle body online. And so if you already are like an intuitive or sensitive or empathic person, it's going to just turn the volume up even more, but in such a beautifully beneficial way. And it's so exciting. It's so exciting to see those shifts in people, and like to be a part of, to me, that's the coolest part about, like, you know, yes, we're all kind of collaborating in business, but we all are connecting too. And it's really cool to see everybody's like evolutions. And it's cool to be able to like drop in sort of intimately with people here and there throughout the community, and to kind of like also participate in intimacy in a new way that, you know, it's kind of removed from this idea of like long-term partnership where it's like, no, all of this is intimate and we drop in, and when we drop in, we drop the in, you know. And but we find that there's like a flow with it too. And so that is also like kind of a communal practice. And I think that that ties into this sense of freedom and the way that you move through the world. What I'm seeing is the way that it's shifting, the way we're moving through the world socially, because of how we're approaching business, collaboration, creativity, health, and well-being. And yeah, as far as like my pillow, sorry, that just like came out.
We've heard a lot about you. That's what we want. Yeah.
I'm just excited about it, and I love this stuff. And you know, even today, like I'm so excited to meet Kristen.
Oh, you gotta listen to her podcast. I haven't listened to it enough.
I mean, you just have like such a lovely presence about you. Like, feels so normal that we're all hanging out here, and there's something about that that's like so sweet to me. You know, because especially coming out of like pandemic and all this stuff, like to be able to start to form these connections, it's so sweet. But I think, you know, as far as like our crew, like our little our bloom, our garden, what we've got started, what I am noticing about all of us collectively is that for us, freedom is creativity. And it seems to me like our group is the group that's like, we are creative animals. Let's go. Let's figure out all the coolest like applications and like go wild with it. So it seems like we're going to geek out on some of that stuff together. But for me, my geek out stuff is all like nervous system recovery. And I do a lot of work with the tissues, articular strength. I work with, you know, flushing fatigue from the body. And I do that because it's something that I deeply need for my own body. So I'm not surprised at all that like tissues, nerves, vitality, all of that came up in my scan. And it's so completely me. And it's totally why I use Healy. So that was very cool to see. And yeah, I just wanted to like bring that point in, but I'm okay. I'm done.
One of the points that I love that you made, and right in the beginning, is that it's, I mean, if you use the Healy consistently, that's the thing. You know, some people will like use it once or a little bit, and then maybe they, and it, I have not heard it's not a miracle. It's a tune-up device, you know. And when you go out into the world and you interact with other people, we get, I don't know, out of harmony, and that's okay. It's a free will universe. We get to be out of harmony, and that's actually really beautiful, because it means we get to come back into harmony and rediscover it again. The forgetting is just as important as the remembering. So, all the journey.
There's a woman I follow. She's in New York City, and she makes mostly for women's wellness, like little herbal things. Her handle is Tea Lady Katie, but she one day was like, don't forget that you're here to have fun, and like you can just go eat a pizza.
Seriously, that's the new wave of just being like, you know what? It's cool that like I'm a no TV household or whatever, but like maybe we just like sit and watch a movie all day, one day a month. You know what I mean? Like it's totally fine. We don't have to shame and like guilt ourselves, you know, because we are resilient beings.
What Kimberly was saying, one of my favorite things, that it expands so much, and expansion, right, isn't just this way, it's in here too. The level of instant intimate community that this has exposed me to, and the incredible women that have now become a part of my life, and how that has now percolated, and like a mycelial network reached further out into the people that I reach and talk to, and that now come back to me. So like when Kimberly was saying, we come together in like business community and collaboration, it feels like coming together in playful, intimate truth. It's like no one has time for anything else anymore. It's like, this is what we're here for.
Yeah. 100%. There's it. I really feel like Healy comes to you when you're like ready, in the sense that not everybody is ready for this kind of device. I don't think everybody is evolutionarily responsible enough for Healy. The power that we have, with with a lot of power, a lot of responsibility, and like I've heard like you can do it wrong, like the act of getting consent before you do this stuff, that you don't just be like, oh man, well, this person's hurting, I'm going to give them frequencies. You know what I mean? Like, no, I would never, like, and we wouldn't, because that's not the way that this works. And you could do that, but it could just like go right through them, or it could be giving them access to information they didn't ask for, and could really mess them up. And so like, free will, right? It's okay to not have money for a while, it's in that, but then when it's time and we're ready for it, we are going to, and we can receive, and that money is well, health, and that's wealth, and that's everything. So money is just a placeholder. It could be salt. It was salt. The original form of money was salt. Any questions anybody has on what we've heard today, or anything at all?
I just want to say thank you. That was like very informative and definitely answered some of the questions that I've had that I've never really had answered. So
you're very welcome. I'm going to continuing to do videos. I actually just recorded a video on how you can like record the frequencies of specific things. Like I gave the example of record the frequency of a tarot card and then vibrate that frequency to yourself. And so, yeah, and Miss Annie Dalter has asked me to do videos like this explaining all the different fun uses. We're going to be doing a video series, guys, and so I'm excited to be doing and creating with all of you guys and talking about how do we use Healy, just short little 20-minute videos, examples, and just like sharing the wealth that we have.
Have you done it with any of your artwork? Or while creating artwork? Like I know that you've done it for Rockets and Robots, but I wasn't sure for any of the artwork.
No, but you could totally do that. Like the watercolor, like
yeah,
I did those, and how cool would it be to like have the water that you're dipping your paintbrush in have frequencies in it.
There's an incredible watercolor artist I follow. I do not remember her handle, but she lives near the sea, so she only uses salt water from the beach, and all of her artworks, incredible ocean animals. But to do that with Healy too. Ooh.
Yeah, definitely. And then you could take a picture of it send frequencies to the picture. Yeah, I'm working with an artist right now who Miss Z. I think we may have, Z is in Sonic Bloom. She is creating goddess deities, and so with clay and crystals, and I enchanted one of her goddess deities. I gave it an aura scan. I gave it gem elixirs, and I gave it a coaching analysis I drew an oracle card, and it said heart guardian. And so I aligned the goddess deity with the coach analysis to be love and be loved. I am heart guardian. And so that it will be, up available for sale, hopefully. And, like, there's just so many possibilities, things we can do. So I wanted to just remind everybody, reach out, let me know if you want to receive these frequencies or other ones. We are creating an unstoppable team of artists and storytellers, a Sub Rosa community. So let us know when you've decided and anything that you need in order to get your heart to its own yes. We are not convincing people to do this, but we're here, and Healy's not going anywhere for when you're ready to start your own Healy journey. Yeah, 44 days to freedom. This is something that Healy does ever so often, is creating opportunities for training. Right now we're in a 6 weeks business training opportunity, the 44 days to freedom. We're like in week 4 or 5 right now. The information and the replays and the workbooks and stuff is available in the boards app, and so that information is not going anywhere. There's no scarcity. I'm not operating in any form of scarcity, even when it comes to promotions. Okay, there's always going to be a sale. It's just whether the sale is the one for you. If you had interest in purchasing Healy, would definitely recommend the 35% off. These two are 35% off the Healy Professional. You get 3 different program modules, a free coil, and a free travel case. Those are like free gifts when you purchase the Healy, versus the Healy Professional versus the Healy Resonance Plus. You get the coil and the Soul Cycle, which I got Soul Cycle free when I purchased. I love that module. It's amazing. It just feels so good. If you're curious about what's in that, let me know. Or if you want to start with a gold, right now Healy is doing, you purchase 2 Healy golds, you save 40%. So that's a great way to have a device for yourself, for you and your partner, or for yourself, and maybe loan out to people that want to test Healy for a couple weeks. When you first start working with the device, they recommend for the first 2 weeks you run gold programs. And so this is a great place to start. That's all I got for you today, folks. Thank you so much for coming by. I love you all. Make sure we're all connected, of course. You're very welcome, darling. I'll be putting this up on YouTube along with my other playlist of other scans. So if you can see examples of other scans up on YouTube under this. So I'll be putting that out on the email. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, talk soon.
Thank you. Bye, ladies.
Bye.